Most people believe productivity is the key to success. They chase goals, tick off to-do lists, and try every productivity hack they can find online. Yet at the end of the day, they feel exhausted, unfulfilled, and strangely disconnected from what they're doing. Why does this happen? Because they are missing the most vital ingredient: presence. Not presence in the sense of simply being physically there, but a deep, conscious engagement with the moment. Presence over productivity means bringing your full awareness, your full energy, and your full intelligence into what you are doing, no matter how big or small the task may be. If you look at how most people work, it is with a distracted mind. While their hands are typing emails, their minds are already drifting toward lunch, the weekend, or some worry from yesterday. This scattered attention is not just inefficient, it is draining. You may be doing one thing, but you are mentally handling 10 things. This fragmentation is the real reason people feel burned out. They are not tired because of work, they are tired because they are not fully there. When you are fully present, when your mind, body, and energy are all aligned with the task at hand, there is a certain ease to your action. You are no longer fighting with the moment, you are flowing with it. In the yogic science, we do not speak much about time management because time is not something you manage, it simply moves on. What we focus on is energy management. Where your attention goes, your energy flows, and where your energy flows, that is where life happens. So the question is not, how can I be more productive at work? The question is, can I be more present in this moment? Because when you are present, your very presence becomes powerful. Even a simple act like breathing, if done consciously, becomes meditation. In the same way, your work, if done consciously, becomes a form of sadhana, a spiritual process. Presence does not mean sitting silently in one place. It means being so fully involved with what you are doing that there is no room for inner conflict. When you're present, you don't need to divide your attention between what you want to do and what you have to do. There is only doing. This doing, without compulsiveness, without resistance, is the most natural state of a human being. But because we have become entangled in likes and dislikes, fears and desires, we have lost this simplicity. We now need reminders, systems, and tricks to stay focused. But if you truly see the value of presence, if you experience what it means to be truly here, now, even for a few moments, you will see that no external system is necessary. It becomes your natural way of being. You may think that being present means slowing down or doing less, but it is quite the opposite. Presence enhances your capacity. When you are present, your perception sharpens, your response time improves, and your ability to act becomes more precise. You can accomplish more with less effort because there is no friction inside. The mind is not pulling in one direction while the body moves in another. This alignment of your faculties is what people call being in the zone. But it should not be something accidental or occasional. It can become a continuous state if you train yourself to bring your awareness to each moment. Just try this for one day. Whatever task you're doing, typing an email, attending a meeting, speaking to a colleague, give it your full attention. Don't just be physically there. Be mentally, emotionally, energetically involved. You will see that even mundane tasks acquire a new depth. You start to notice things you never saw before. You respond more effectively. You feel less tired. Why? Because the resistance, the internal commentary, the dragging of the mind, all of that is gone. You are simply doing what needs to be done with your whole being. Most people are looking for shortcuts to productivity because they are unwilling to bring this level of involvement. They want results without presence. But life doesn't work like that. Real fulfillment, real success, whether in work, relationships, or any other area, comes not from how many things you do, but from how deeply you do them. This depth is only possible with presence. It is not about volume, it is about intensity. And intensity is not about stress or pressure, it is about total involvement. When you bring this quality into your work, something fundamental shifts. You no longer see your job as a burden. You stop waiting for the weekend. Work stops being something you escape from and starts becoming something you grow through. Hard work builds discipline. Smart work builds results. Both are essential, but they serve different purposes in the journey of growth and success. Discipline is the backbone of consistency, and without consistency, even the best ideas or strategies fall apart. Hard work teaches the value of showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. It trains the body and the mind to obey a rhythm, to stay the course even when motivation fades. It's the grind, the persistence, the repeated effort that forms the foundation of any skill or mastery. Discipline is not glamorous. It's waking up when you don't want to, doing the work when no one is watching, staying focused when distractions pull at you from every direction. It's the quiet, uncelebrated repetition that slowly builds mental strength. Hard work, in this sense, is like the training ground. It toughens the muscles of the mind, teaches patience, and reinforces commitment. A disciplined person can endure more, bounce back quicker, and stay stable in the face of uncertainty. This inner strength is cultivated only through sustained effort. But while hard work builds this inner engine, smart work is what decides where that engine goes. Results do not come just from effort, they come from correct application. Many people work tirelessly and still feel stuck. They are responsible, but their progress is minimal. This is where smart work becomes the difference maker. It brings analysis into action. It evaluates what is working and what is not. It discards what is unnecessary. It pivots, adapts, and redefines the path forward based on feedback and insight. Smart work is result-oriented. It begins with the end in mind and reverse engineers the process. It doesn't simply value movement, it values movement in the right direction. While hard work asks, how much can I do? Smart work asks, what actually needs to be done? It's the art of making your effort count, of choosing the battles that truly matter and walking away from those that don't. Smart workers are not lazy, they are selective. They choose their actions based on impact, not impulse. When combined, discipline and smart strategy create a powerful dynamic. Hard work ensures you show up every day with energy and focus. Smart work ensures that energy is being invested where it actually creates change. One without the other is incomplete. If you only work hard without questioning the method, you risk becoming mechanical, busy but ineffective. If you only work smart without the discipline to follow through, you become inconsistent, brilliant in ideas but poor in execution. The balance of both brings sustainability and success. It's also important to understand that results are not just external. Smart work generates inner clarity. It gives you a sense of progress that fuels further action. It reduces stress because it eliminates wasted motion. It teaches you how to prioritize your life in a way that aligns with your values and goals. You no longer chase everything, you start choosing. This choosing creates space, mental space, emotional space, and within that space, real results emerge. Even in creative fields or entrepreneurship, where freedom is often romanticized, it is the discipline gained through hard work that builds the structure needed to turn ideas into reality. At the same time, it is the insight gained through smart work that prevents you from spending years building something no one needs. The musician who practices for hours each day may have discipline, but it is the one who also understands audience, trends, and emotion who creates timeless music. The student who memorizes the textbook works hard, but the one who understands how to apply the concepts scores higher. The employee who stays late every night may be noticed, but the one who solves complex problems efficiently gets promoted. Results are what the world sees, but the quality of those results depends on the quality of thinking behind the action. Smart work is reflective. It constantly refines the process. It is not content with doing something the same way just because that's how it's always been done. It challenges tradition, tests assumptions, and finds the simplest, most elegant way to reach the goal. It doesn't reject hard work. It honors it by giving it a clear direction. Discipline without results is frustrating. Results without discipline are temporary, but together they create momentum that sustains itself. Success needs a blend, not a bias. In life, it's rarely about choosing between extremes. It's about finding the balance that fits the context, the goal, and the individual. The debate between hard work and smart work has often been framed as a choice, as if one is superior to the other. But this kind of thinking is limiting. Real success doesn't come from being rigid, it comes from being adaptive, from knowing when to push and when to pause, when to grind and when to glide. It comes from integrating different energies in a way that supports progress without unnecessary struggle. Hard work is the force of persistence. It is effort in motion. It is the willingness to do what's necessary even when it's difficult or tedious. It's about building character through repetition, through endurance, through sacrifice. It shapes identity. It creates resilience. But hard work without wisdom can become slavery to a process. It can lead you down paths that exhaust you but don't fulfill you. It can become noise, loud, intense, but lacking melody. Smart work, on the other hand, is about clarity. It's the intelligence to know where to apply your energy, when to pivot, how to optimize. It is subtle and strategic. But smart work alone can make one overconfident, prone to shortcuts, or unwilling to embrace necessary effort. It can breed a false sense of efficiency that overlooks the value of grind. In many cases, smart ideas remain unmanifested because the person behind them lacked the discipline to see them through. So while smart work makes things easier, hard work makes things happen. Success demands both. It needs the muscle and the mind, the hands and the head, the vision and the velocity. It requires a person to think like a strategist and act like a warrior, to spend time planning but also get their hands dirty in execution. Too much bias toward hard work can make you rigid. Too much bias toward smart work can make you complacent. Balance is not about doing equal amounts of each. It's about doing the right proportion at the right time. Based on what the right proportion at the right time, based on what the moment demands. In the early stages of any journey, whether it's a career, a business, or a skill, hard work often dominates. That's when you're building foundation, forming habits, learning the ropes. At this stage, the effort may feel blind, repetitive, and intense. But as you evolve, the ratio begins to shift. You start seeing patterns. You begin to understand what works and what doesn't. This is when smart work enters more consciously. Now, you're not just doing, you're designing. You're not just moving, you're measuring. A person who learns to blend these forces becomes powerful. They can hustle when needed, but they can also pause to reassess. They know when to go full speed and when to take a step back to recalibrate. They are not stuck in a binary mindset. They are fluid. Life itself is fluid. It changes every moment. And those who succeed in the long run are not the ones who pick a side and stay there. They are the ones who can dance between energies, who can shift gears gracefully. This blend is also what prevents burnout. Many people burn out not because they work too much, but because they work inefficiently. They put in tremendous effort without clarity, without systems, without rest. On the flip side, some try to be overly clever, avoiding work to the point where nothing meaningful ever gets built. The real magic happens when wisdom meets willpower, when insight meets action, when creativity meets consistency. This is the formula that produces lasting achievement. In any field, whether it's sports, art, science, or leadership, the top performers are not just hard workers or smart thinkers. They are both. They train with intensity, but they also study the game. They work long hours, but they also innovate their approach. They don't just rely on brute force, nor do they sit back waiting for the perfect system. They engage fully, mentally and physically, emotionally and strategically. They are not slaves to effort, nor are they addicted to ease. They are guided by a deeper understanding of what it takes to move from where they are to where they want to be. Bias limits growth. It forces you to defend one method while ignoring the other. But success is not interested in your loyalties. It responds to what works. And what works is a dynamic combination of elements that must be constantly adjusted. The blend will look different for everyone depending on their strengths, their goals, and their environment. But the principle remains the same. The integration of hard work and smart work creates a force far greater than either one on its own. When something within you feels shattered, the natural instinct is to panic, to scramble and hold the pieces together, to pretend as if nothing ever broke. But you must understand, life does not shatter you without reason. What you call a fracture is not a flaw. It is a doorway into a part of yourself you have never dared to enter. You see, we have been conditioned to fear brokenness. We've been taught that anything cracked must be repaired quickly, hidden from view, polished until it looks untouched. But real life, authentic life, is never unbroken. It is messy. It is imperfect. And it is beautiful in that very imperfection. When something breaks, it is not the end. It is an invitation to look beyond the surface. You may think everything has fallen apart, but perhaps things have finally fallen into place, not in the way you imagined, but in the way life truly intended. Look at the earth after a long drought. The first crack in the dry soil is not a wound, it is a prayer answered. That tiny fracture is what allows the first drop of rain to seep in, to nourish the roots, to awaken life beneath. Without that opening, even the most generous rains would simply wash away. So when you feel that deep crack in your heart, don't curse it. Don't resist it. Don't rush to fill it with distractions. Stay with it. Watch it. Be curious about it. Because something profound is trying to pass through you. Something sacred is trying to reach you, not through your strength, but through your vulnerability. Sometimes, life breaks the shell not to destroy you, but to set you free. It removes the walls you built around your heart so that your soul can finally breathe. And if you keep clinging to what was, you will miss what is trying to be born. The fracture you fear may be the very space through which grace is entering your life. So, sit with your brokenness. Let it be. Let it speak. Let it open the door to a deeper part of you that your unbroken self never touched. You may find that you were never really broken at all. You were simply being reshaped, lovingly, silently, into something more whole than you ever imagined.